launching a board game business, right? This is very, very, very important when you're setting up a company or when you're launching a new product, right? So these are typically the things that we look at, right? First, the brand itself. People should be able to relate to your product company. Like for example, I really love Current's, publishing company's name. It's so cool. Can you please tell us the origin of your?
So, my company's name is Rooftop Rooster Games.
It's called Rooftop Roosters.
Wow.
It came from the idea uh, it's the idea of Rooftop Rooster is like earlier people used to put it on their roofs to tell them about the wind direction. So thematically, I took it from that to give the right direction to the Indian audience, like what like it's kind of healthy direction towards healthy entertainment. So that's how the name came about, and I love the
It has a very cool looking brand image as well, right? I mean, you have something intriguing, and even if you put it on a box, over time people will start recognizing it, which is cool.
I hope so. I've been working on the logo and all, like a lot of iterations and all.
You actually gave us the inspiration
Yes.
for our brand,
Yes.
which had the name, term games in it. So you inspired us partly. Thank you. So we actually thought a lot about Mosaic Games because we wanted something which was related to uh, telling stories through stone. Next, very important thing is having a landing page for your brand. Okay, if you are launching a product or a website or anything, you need to have a landing page. There needs to be a page which shows up in Google on searches, or a landing page where people can actually come and follow you, follow the updates, read more about you and know more about you, where you don't have to keep pitching to everybody. This is what I am, this is what the product I'm doing, blah, blah, blah. Don't have to do it. Just tell them, hey, go check out more on this page. It could be just a Twitter page, it could be just an Instagram page, it could be a website, it could be anything. But some page where you can grab information of the people who visited you. It's very, very, very critical. So you need to install Facebook Pixel, Google AdWords, and blah, 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 where it tracks the people who come to your site. Who are the kind of people coming to your site? Where are they coming from? And you can retarget them with ads. You can retarget them through email updates, stuff like that. So it's very important to have a brand page. Okay. This was one of the strategies which we employed, where we were testing out if people are even vibing with the whole concept of high time India got cool new games, right? That was our tagline. We wanted to see if people are even gelling with that kind of a pitch. And to our surprise, we got tons of traffic and likes. Honestly speaking, we didn't even have a product. We didn't even know what the hell we were doing. We just had one page and a Facebook page and a website, and we had 24,000 followers. We were shocked. Okay, it just showed that there is a huge demand for Indian Gen Z to show off that they also have something cool to show.
which
Not
particular,
show.
which particular platform you had the initial followers
So
on?
we initially started with Facebook and a website. And on Facebook, I think even now we have close to 35, 36,000 followers. Not that they actually add any value. It's not like,
Business.
it's not like they will get you revenue or they buy your products, but they are fantastic with word of mouth. Even having the credibility that, okay, you have something in store, right? It shows, like when we were pitching to investors and all of that, because we were a startup, which was the most stupidest thing we did. Wasted a year and a half on making pitch presentations than working on our products. I seriously think it was the most dumbest thing to do in my life. I regret it really. At that point of time, they will only look at your Facebook page or something like that and social media presence and say, oh, they have 36,000 followers. Now we think it's so foolish, Anyway, the third important thing is, so all of these things were what I'm talking about. You don't even have to have a finished product. You don't even have to have a product. Even if just that vision and the mission statement of your company, or your initiative, if it's there, that is enough. People will start relating to it and start supporting you and giving you that push. So it's very important to uh, kind of extend your brand onto social media, because this is where you have one-on-one connections. It's very, very important to have one-on-one connections. Believe me when I say this. If you go to Dystar Labs Instagram page, you'll see some 4,000 plus followers, right? I have said thank you to each and one of them who has followed me. I personally go manually type it out saying, hey, whatever, thank you for following us, right? And that conversation sometimes kind of goes into a crazy direction. I have actually had 3 hours conversation, I mean chat sessions with people on Instagram, and it has made such strong bonds. And we still didn't have a product, but we had really a strong bond with around 1,000 plus followers who really supported us, and that word of mouth helped like crazy. I found artists, I found designers, some of them joined the group and who became designers, after this kind of an interaction. Some of their wives hate me for converting their husbands into game designers, you know. So it was really very important to build that community, whether you have something valuable to give them. Never in this time you should push them into buying your product. The moment you start pushing them to buy a product, you're going down. They will hate you. That whole thing, that end of the day the motive is for somebody to make them buy something, that itself is like a negative red flag for them. So just have a casual conversation. That itself, what enticed them to follow you, just understand that gives you a lot of insight. So building a social media community is very important. All
So
right,
I
wherever it is.
wanted to ask, like, your initial followers, were there people who were just the people who migrated from your Facebook friend list to your Instagram page, or
They
they
were
were
completely different.
Completely.
And the best part was Insta. So we tried Twitter, we tried some of the different forums, Reddit, and all of these things. Instagram worked for us wonders. They really did wonders for us. That just one Instagram profile. We had one-on-one conversations. It went to such a level that the bonds were so strong. Even if we released a kerchief, they would buy it. It was like that. And you might have seen it, right? Even today, when we say we are open for pre-orders, people want to be in the top 100. Also because we give away some nice goodies. Not just that, but they trust us. They really trust us when it comes to that. So social media community, these guys are your family. They are going to be, you should make them feel that they are family and they are part of your journey from day one. So be open with them. They are well wishers. Even if there are people who hate you and want to pull you down, it's okay. They are also good devil's advocates for you. So it's always good to have a social media community. Another very important thing is you need to have a mechanism to drive traffic to your website. All right, whether it's through Facebook ads or this kind of interaction, or just push content everywhere, just pray like crazy. Even that will help you. Try to find out the most frugal way of doing this. What is the most cheapest way of driving traffic to your website? Figure that out and abuse it. Big deal, man. Every day if you spend 100 200 rupees in a month, it's just what, 6,000 to 12,000 rupees. 6,000 rupees per month, I think we can spend to test if traffic is coming to your site organically. Are they finding you interesting and clicking on the ad, and take the next step to come to your page and actually follow you? That's a big deal. How many of the products will you actually go on Amazon and give a comment or review? Hardly, right? You buy 100 products on Amazon, some 10 15 of them you'll review, right? If somebody has to take that effort to give you a review on a product on Amazon or follow you on Instagram, it means you have really done something good and entice them to follow you. It's a big deal. Okay. Very important thing is also offline interactions, because many of, especially board games, you cannot explain the game online. You cannot explain it through an ad or an Instagram post. They have to experience it. And this is where the next set of networking happens. The next set of strong bonds are formed with the end user. So offline interactions, you have an opportunity, jump to it. If they participate more and more, however annoying that guy might be, but he will be the best well-wisher you would have ever wanted. We have had all kinds of people, man. We have interacted with thousands and thousands. First Comic Con, we set up a stall. We didn't even have a product, but we wanted to test. My goal was, I have 1 to 1.5 lakh in my pocket. I want to test out this business model. So that entire year, I threw money on just experimentation. At that point, we spent what, some 40-50,000 rupees, and we got a stall which was right in front of the entrance in Comic Con Bangalore. And there were 45,000 people hitting that day, 2 days. Easily around 6,000 to 7,000 people have hit my stall. And Shweta was still working for Cognizant that time. She was a project manager there. And she was shocked looking at the kind of people pouring into our stall, trying to play Yuddha Bhumi, which was just 3D printed components. And we had action figures, we had comics, we had AR apps, all kinds of things which we were testing out, right? We didn't know what we wanted to make. And that was when we realized, wait, 6,000 people hitting our, our stall and drooling at everything. It motivated the heck out of us, and also got us the first set of people who want to buy our product. So online interactions is very, very, very important, because our product itself is an experiential product, right? So try to get at least, even if it is just 10-15 people, that bonds that you form with them is really critical. And now that you put your skin in the game, 1 year, 2 years down the line, they'll actually feel privileged that they were part of your journey. They will support you. And if the moment you announce Kickstarter or something, and if it's in there, it's pocket friendly for them, they will blindly support you. Don't hesitate to run ads, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. If Instagram has this algorithm where it actually tells you, hey, this particular post is doing well organically, like in just 6 to 10 hours, you will get like 50 likes on the post or some comments. You immediately know it's organically doing well. Many times you yourself won't know that the post will go crazy or not. Okay. So that kind of things, push it, put 200 rupees, put 600 rupees, drive that, get more traffic. It really helps. Karan?
So regarding the offline interaction you mentioned, like specifically the Comic Con stall, like you mentioned that you didn't had a sellable product at that point of time. So what was the call to action for the people who are hitting your stall at that point of time?
So there were two objectives. One was from our perspective, two was from building the brand and market analysis and all that, right? So for us, we wanted to understand which was the age group which was gravitating to which product. So, some of them we could actually figure out. So this particular age group was gravitating to something. There were a lot of grandparents hanging out with us. They wanted some sort of a cool product as a gifting, a solution to give their grandchildren.
They were playing the game.
And they were playing the game there with us. It was amazing. So second, the call to action was very simple. Come follow us. We have this product coming out. The first people who sign up get a t-shirt free and a 300 rupees off. So they started calling us. When is the product coming out? We want to pre-order. When is it going to be open for pre-order? Even today, any game that we announce, there are people who beg us to go live on a particular date. I'm like, why? We never understood. So now we are slowly realizing that we are building this community. That community and the network that we built really is helping us and a lot of companies. Like, for example, there is a huge community for Shasan also, for memes. Mimesis Labs, whatever the company is, right? There's a small community of parents following some Luma World, for example, right? So it's very important to build that community, and these guys will really be your devil's advocates, right? Um, Another thing which actually helped us a lot was teasers. Okay, so when I mentioned that you have to put stuff on social media and all that, it really helps if you have a teaser, and this teaser could be just 2 slides of your presentation. It could be just this and this or something like that, and push it like crazy through Facebook ads. Spend $1,000, 1,500 rupees. Even after spending 1,500 rupees, if people are not even clicking on the ad the way you imagine, that means there's something wrong with the visuals or the name or the concept or the game itself. So with just 1,200 rupees, you're realizing what the problem is. Instead of spending 5-10 lakhs making a product and then shoving it down someone's throat. So you're not making that mistake, going to that stage and realizing, oh shit, what have I done? So all these things is an iterative process, typical design thinking process where you're involving the end customer's feedback from day one, so you can refine your product. Okay, and don't keep your product in stealth mode. Believe me, it's a disaster. All right. Do whatever it is to get likes, follows, and signups, whatever it is, because these are people you can grab hold of. And this, like for example, we had, I won't take too much of your time, just one more slide. So one example was we were part of a startup cohort. Okay, we were the only product company in that cohort. Cohort is like a accelerator, who will give you money and tell you to experiment. Okay, and you have to be very lucky to be selected in that cohort or whatever, right? We were very lucky that way. Out of 700 applications, we got selected because we were like a very cool startup then. Something you should watch out for, and we were in the toys and games, and nobody was in the. So that advantage we had. So we part of that cohort. One biggest problem which they solved for us was understanding marketing strategies. Okay, like for example, we ran some ads. They said, you know what, all of this gyan that we just shared just now, right? That is exactly what they also told us. It works for any product, not just board games. It's more like a business thing, right? So they told us, hook or crook, get 3,000 email signups. Okay, that was the first month of that cohort. They said, hook or crook, get 3,000 signups or followers or whatever, 3,000. I don't care how much money you spend. Figure out which is the most frugal way to get these 3,000 people in your network. So we tried all kinds of things, and then we came to this metric where for every 100 rupees spent, we got 1 follower on Instagram. So if you want 1,000 followers, this much amount of money you'll have to spend. Okay, that started falling because of network effect. It came to 15 rupees per follow. Okay, then for an email sign up, it was coming to around around 100 rupees per email registration on the website. So we understood how much money do we need to get this many people. Next phase was, once our product came out, we started pushing out to these people. Okay, and obviously the understanding is, like, whether it's Kickstarter or whatever, if you reach out to 3,000 people, only 3% or 5% of them convert. All right, so this was where our biggest learning was. We went there, we were doing all this and we were just not able to convert people. We were thinking, out of 3,000 people who showed interest, at least 500 people should buy. We spent bloody 1 to 2 lakhs to gain these followers and these email signups. At least 500 people should buy our product, because they've taken that step and sometime in their life they have to buy the product, right? Then we understood, but our conversions were pathetic. It was 1.5%. 1.5% of 3,000 people actually converted. That means around some 45, 50 people bought. Okay. We were like, shit, what is happening? Then we went to our mentor. We told him, see, this is the problem we are having. We're not able to increase the conversion rate to 10, 15%. What do we do? He gave us a simple solution, which we never imagined. We were so stupid. He was like, if this is your conversion rate with 3,000 people, then reach out to 15,000 people. Instead of breaking your head to increase the conversion rate from 1.5 to 10%, don't break your head. You want 200, 300 people, right? Just reach out to that many X number of people.
With cheap ads.
That was so easy for us. We just followed that funda. So if your conversion is this, if you can't increase it, then reach out to more people. Okay, fine. So we reached out to more people and we actually bumped up our sales. So these simple things, I'm happy to actually share it with you guys. If nobody had bloody shared it with me, I had to go through all of this long process to figure out this thing when a mentor had to tell us. And we were already 18 months into this. And this was one of the things I really wanted to share with you guys in this, because you guys are diving into that business now.